Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And once again, we have come to the end of another month, and it is time to take a look at my finished pages for the month of March 2020. So this month I worked quite fervently on doing coloring one page in every book, which goes for a tag called Color Your Horde, which is being put on by Lavella to Lavella Colors, I believe is her channel's name. It's Lavella, anyways. Type that in. I'll put it down below. So yeah, there's lots of books here with just one page colored in them, and otherwise it's my normal color by numbers and patterns, and just a whole good selection of every type of book you can imagine. So let's start off with the little books. So I colored a picture in this book. It is, I won't bother reading the French, I'll just tell you what it means in English. It is Under the Ocean, and this is a Disney art therapy square. So I did this page right here, and I believe I used Jane Davenport set of paints. I think I used this one. Let's see. Did I use that one? Yep. So this is Brights. I used the Brights palette of watercolors for that. I love these books. I like the ones that aren't Disney the most, but I do have a couple of Disney ones. So there's that. And continuing with my little ones, I colored out of some of the I Heart coloring books. So this is I Heart Coloring Flowers, and I did this page right here. This was just a very boring pattern here, which I have no idea what it has to do with flowers. It looks like a piece of knitted work to me. So anyways, I used Tombows to color that in, and then I just collaged a magazine image on top of it to give it some sort of spice. So there we go. And then I did I Heart Coloring Cats. And I did this one. This is a little Zen tangled kitten with a ball of yarn. Very simple. I used Arteza Ink Onyx. Got all sorts of dust on here. It shows up when you're on a black background, but at least all the pen marks don't. So there we go. One more heart coloring book, and this is actually the first one, I Heart Coloring, and I colored the first page. Oh. The copyright page like this, and I used gel pens. I think I was using Tan Mint. Yeah, a big case of Tan Mints. So these were glitter gel pens, except for the dark blue. That was just a classic, I guess it's called. So I like the colors. I think that turned out nice. This whole book, this first one here, I Heart Coloring, is all Zentangly type patterns in there. So I thought I would make that gel pen book. And now we will move on to more regular sized books. I need to move some stuff here. Put those there. Okay, so then I colored in Whimsy, Angie Grace's Patterns, Volume 2. And this one I actually did on the last day of February. It didn't make it into February's haul, so, not haul, February's pages. So this one was all gel pen, again, all glitter. I don't really do things in glitter gel pen, but I'm trying to make more of a go at it because I have a ton of gel pens, so I might as well use them, right? And I like this. It looks nice. It does make the pages curl, though, but that's okay. And then we have Woodland Beauty Manga Girls by Galina Haisahi. And I colored this one right here. And I used my alcohol markers, some gel pen, both glittered and classic style. This is, I think I said alcohol marker already, and I put Wink of Stella on these big flowers. Glitter gel pen for the wings, and some, what do you call it, stickles on there. I don't know, everybody always tries to show the shine. I don't know if I can do that or not. Putting it in the light. It doesn't seem to be working, does it? Oh well, I tried. It's there. Okay, so moving along, I worked in Color Questopia's New York Mosaic Color by Number, and I did this page. And on this page, I used what are they? Stettler? No. Yeah, Stettler 325s. And I'm currently in the process of using them up, so you will hear me say I've used them quite a bit throughout this. I have very few of the pens left, so it's been good. What I want to do is use up the markers that aren't going to be a permanent part of my collection, so that I have room for the markers that are a permanent part of my supplies. Then I just absolutely love Olga Goloveshkina, is how I'm going to pronounce it. And this is, she has a series of books called Mounts, which are animals with saddles on them. And this is the Halloween book, and it's also book number 4. So I did the horse. He kind of looks like the old gray mare, except that I colored him brown. I had a ton of fun with this. I need to get one of her books that's not a mount, one of the mount books. I need to get some of her others because they're really way out there. So we used alcohol marker, Sakura Decorez white. That is my white gel pen of the day, shall we say. I absolutely love it. I use it every single time I need to go over black outlines with it. Who knows? Anyways, I named him Beauregard. Gel pen, glitter. The pumpkin was all done in glitter gel. And I don't know. Oh yeah, that's metallic up there. Yeah, there we go. This is a nice book. So as we go along here, if you see a book that you would like me to do a flip through of, just let me know down below in the comments and I'll get one up for you. Many of these already are on my channel, so you can go ahead and have a look yourself if you prefer. I have a playlist named Book and Magazine Flip Throughs, but you can easily just ask me and I will point you in the right direction, or if there isn't one, I'll put it up for you. So here we have Girl Power by Christopher Hart. He is a popular manga artist. And in this one, I did this one. And the girl was done with various alcohol markers, and the background was done with big intensity. So, oh yeah, I should tell you that except for the New York book, everything's been a Color Your Horde. This is Color Your Horde. Yeah, so every book I've shown you except for the New York Color by Number, yep, that's right, are all Color Your Hordes. Okay, then we did 100 Beautiful Mandalas by Camellia Angelkova. And this one I used the Stettler 325s. I basically just randomly grabbed some colors and, well, actually no. I picked some of the ugly colors and then I picked the a bright pink, and it actually turned out quite nice. I think that's the only one I did in here. Yeah, so I'm working in this book in order, so I'm going to keep this out because this month is Camellia Angelkova month on one of my groups. Then it was Belba in March last month, which I co-hosted along with Lisa's Coloring Corner and Shelley over at the Stitching Colorist, and so I did a few Belba family books, and this was one of them. I did the Tango Dancers here. I did a speed color of that. I really enjoy doing the speed colors, and I missed one this week, but I do intend to keep them up, so if you enjoy those. Okay, so this one was a Color Your Horde, and I have got to say that I absolutely adore the illustration in this book. I knew I had the book, but I never realized how gorgeous the artwork is. And when I went to look for her other books, they're all mostly out of print, which is a real shame, and I'm glad I have this book. So this was a Color Your Horde, and I could not pick a picture in here. I kept going through it, front and back, and I couldn't pick because I just wanted to color everything. So I went, look, just start at the beginning. So that's what I did. And I used, let's see if I can tell, I think these are Color Softs, Derwent Color Soft. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and it is 100% pencil. So I also worked on my pencil coloring this month, and I think I improved a little bit. Then this is Day at the Circus Color by Number by Sach and Sach Diva, and this was a Color Your Horde. So I colored the first picture and the second picture because it's hard to do just one in a Color by Number book. I'm going to be keeping this out because it is Sach and Sach Diva month in another one of my groups. And then I finally got to color a picture in, where should I put that? There. In Romantic Country Book 2. I'm one of the poor, sad, lonely people who does not have Volume 3. Let's all make one big collective sigh. Okay, that's enough. Now, this is the picture that I colored right here. And I used Tombows for this. And so everything is in Tombows. The background is pastel. I can't tell you where it's from. Let's go with Manga, because I think that is what it is. Some glitter pen, some Decorez. I think that's about it that's on there. So really, really enjoyed coloring this. I have got to get out these Eerie books and color in them more. I really enjoy coloring her illustrations. Managed to finish off the rest of my Fabiana Attanasio books to get one page colored in them. So we did Color Your Hoard for Hansel and Gretel by Fabiana Attanasio. And I did this picture right here of Gretel pushing the witch into the fire. And this was done in, this was done in Brute Fooners. And it has a pastel background, but I don't know where the pastels came from. Or is it pencil? No, it's pastel. I've just sealed it. So yeah. And I enjoyed doing that. I enjoy coloring Fabiana Attanasio. I guess that's why I have her books. Then I colored in Escape to Oz by Good Wives and Warriors, and again another Color Your Hoard. And I colored this page right here, a double spread, and this was done with, I have a feeling this might have been the, I said I used Tombows from Romantic Country. I meant Tombows Erogitans, if I didn't say that correctly. Now I'm pretty sure this was done with the Erogitans as well. And it has a pastel sky. And I also used pastel to fill in the little green bits that were left open down on the bottom. So yeah, I really enjoyed coloring that. I had a ton of fun coloring the poppies and the leaves. I'm one of those people who likes coloring leaves. And then I colored an exclusive picture that Deborah Muller put up on the group for us. And I colored this girl. I believe I was coloring this for a challenge, and we had a limited palette that we had to use, and we could only use those colors. Unfortunately, one of the colors was this shade of brown, so I was able to color her with proper colored skin tones. Yeah, and I like how it turned out. I used pastels for the background. Otherwise, just alcohol markers. I find myself doing more printouts. And then coloring Heaven's Animal Wonderland Special by Kanoko Igusa. I've always wanted her books, so I was really thrilled when this magazine came, and this is the one that I did. So this one I used, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Prismas. So I used Prismacolor pencils, and the little duckies are acrylic paint, and I believe I used a black fine liner for their eyes. Otherwise everything is pencil, and it didn't really feel like this needed a background because it just seemed finished as it was. Oh, here, no, these aren't. I actually wrote down here what I used. They're color softs. Derwent Color Softs. Yeah, I was gonna say that at first, but that purple reminded me so much of a Prismacolor. So yes, these are Derwent Color Softs that I used on there. And next up is another Color Your Hoard, and this is Escape to Wonderland by Good Wives and Warriors. This is the only book I don't like in the 4-book series. I have all 4 books, and I've now colored a picture, at least, in all of them. And this book is different than the others because it's a lot of Zen doodly stuff. Of course, first couple pages aren't. But as we start getting into the book, there just is a lot of Zen doodly stuff here. Yeah. Well, now I'm finding pictures that aren't, but when I was looking for something to color, it just seemed like they were all bits and pieces like that. So anyways, this is my least favorite to color in, I found, so I ended up just picking a mandala. And I did that, and I used, Erogetin, not Erogetin. It's hard to remember everybody's names. They all get mixed together. Artesa's Ink Onyx, and the blue is a glitter gel pen. And the ink ghosted through. It actually bled through the paper just in a couple of spots, but it ghosted really badly. But I'm pretty sure I can cover that all up if I just use, well, I don't even have to use dark colors, but as long as I use darker colors than what's showing. So yeah, next time in this book, if I do something like this, it'll be all gel pen. Okay, then back to a color by number, and this is Color Questopia's Country Farm Scenes. This is actually my favorite one that I own, and I own most of them. Not all of them, because they put out too many, more than I can buy. Let's put it that way. Maybe someday I'll collect them all if they go a long period without giving us a new one. So I colored this one. I like this book, so yeah. Not Color Your Hoard. I've colored a few in there. And then I'm going to call this a Color Your Hoard because it did color 2 pictures in here, but the first one is a ruin, and the second one is the one I count. So the very first thing I did in here was colored the title page, and I just totally wrecked it. I hate it. I'm going to show it to you anyways. And then I turned the page and I did the next one, and I like it, and I know what I'm doing now. I really think I'm just going to color this book in order. So I don't even want to look at it again. Okay, it's not the title page, it's the book plate page. Ugh. So what happened was that, what happened now? I spilt something on here. Spilled something on here, and it wrecked her cheek, tore the paper got torn. I got those marks all over here that I covered up with a white gel pen and then tried to go over it with alcohol marker, thinking that would cover it up, but of course it didn't. So, you know, if I hadn't spilled something on here, I wish I could remember what it was. I don't know. I had some sort of accident on this page, and that's what made all these really icky, ruined spots. If that hadn't happened, I probably would have liked it. So we're not going to talk much more about this because I used the same things on the next page. So this is my page I did that I'm counting as my first page for Color Your Hoard. I just love this. Someday I want to get all of Carla's books, but that's her. Yeah, Clara. always want to call her Carla. That's Clara. So I used my gel pens, my alcohol markers, and I used my Copics on here. Special book, special marker. And so of course I did some blending. My feeble attempts at blending anyways. The wings worked out really nicely. I really liked those colors together. Sort of like a creamsicle light orange with yellow. And I used some Decorez white to go over the wings of all the creatures. And then I put, what is that? Wink of Stella. Oh no. No, that's Stickles. I put Stickles on her wings. And looks like I used a glitter pen down here. I used some fine liners to color her flower thingy in her hair. And that's it. So I don't care about the little pictures on the backs. Now my problem is I decide I want to color this book in order, but this is like my favorite page in the book. I just absolutely adore the flying bunnies. I think they are so cute that I think this page is so cute I don't want to color it. Does that make sense? I don't know. So I may skip this one and go on. If I find another page with flying bunnies, I'll come back and color this one. That one. I love the flying bunnies. I hope they're in other of her books. Okay, another Belba family book. And I did this one here. And as you can see, I don't use the cross-stitch method. I find them too faint. I can't really tell what the pictures are. I like them nice and dark. Yeah, sometimes they look a little pixelated, but at least I like them this way. So, did that orange tabby. And then also in the Belba family book, I did this page right here of the Laughing Buddha. I believe this was my last color in chat, shamefully. That was a while ago. But yeah, it's just haven't been really up to it with everything that's going on and everything, so we'll have another one, don't worry. And then Deborah Muller gave us another picture. This was our St. Patrick's Day picture. So she also gave us the instructions to color it with a rainbow of colors. So using all the colors in the rainbow. Well, not all the colors. I picked these ones to be in my rainbow. Colored this up, and it's rather colorful, more so than I would normally do, but yeah, got all the colors in there. And I used alcohol markers. This may be a Uni Signo that I used for the clouds and the white on here. Her pom-pom is acrylic paint, and that's it. So we come to Cinderella from Fabiana Attanasio and a Color Your Hoard. And in this one, oh, the beginning page. I actually finished this on the 31st, so, or on the March 31st. I did this page right here. So I am quite pleased with this. It turned out quite well. My son came and had a look at it, and he asked me, he said, "Did you color that?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "It doesn't look like it." And I said, "Well, what do you mean by that?" He says, "It looks like it's printed." So, I said, thank you. I think that's a compliment. So I used my Prismacolors here for sure. I had a lot of fun. They're my favorites. So other than that, I used a teeny bit of Stickles. One of my problems with Stickles is that I don't have the patience to wait for these things to dry. I used a little bit of fine liner on her lips and her iris. But yeah, the rest of it is Prismacolor. And then I've been sitting down occasionally at nights, and I thought I would try the One Color Arts. I can't remember who it is that I've seen doing these more. I mean, I've seen lots of people do these. Kate, Lisa, Shelley, and you know, I think it might have been Shelley who just kind of pushed me over the edge with these, that I decided to try one of these One Color books. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. But what I really like about them is that I can use up markers with them. Because the reason I didn't want to do them was because I didn't want to waste a marker on one. You know, get one of my favorite markers and color the whole picture in and then have it run out. That's what I was afraid of. But instead, what I'm doing is picking markers that I want to run out. So yeah, that's what these are all about. And I really enjoyed it. I can watch TV and barely even think about what I'm doing. So this is Sun Life Drawing, and this was my Color Your Horde page, and that was just a random Japanese marker. Used it all up. This was this was one of the Stettler 325s. This one was a Zig Real Brush color, whatever they're called. I have about 5 of them, and I do not like them at all, so we will try and use them up. And then this one, I ran out of the color that I was using because I used the same color here, the Stettler 325, and it wasn't even getting, it was still juicy when I finished, so I thought I'd have enough for a second page, but I ran out, and I don't know if you can see on camera there where I used the other colors, but it's kind of in this corner and down here. And you know, I have been looking at this, and for the life of me I couldn't figure out what all this was. And just now I looked up into the camera and I can see that it's 2 more flowers laying face up, but they're laying down instead of standing up like these 2. I cannot see that looking at this face on. It just looks like a mess. Isn't that interesting? Finally get to see what it is. And then this one, it turned out a little more colorful than I had intended. I thought I was going to be doing the background orange, and I intended to do the bird a different color, but my marker was just getting so dry that I made it work to a certain point, so it was straight across here, kind of like that. And then I put in some light orange to kind of fill up the spaces. And then I went for green for the bird and the branch parts of it. So, what's that over here? Oh, cool. That looks like it's the shape of, I don't know, could be like a silhouette of a tree, or these could be falling stars. They're definitely showing up something. Can't see those eyes on. So yeah, that's where I am. I think these would work for speed colors too, because some of them you can't tell what they are. Yeah, you can't tell what those are on camera, so They should be fun to do. And then one of my favorite books that I just have to keep going back to. I am working in order in this book and doing about 2 a month. So I did this one. Did this on the 9th of March, so I grabbed it pretty quickly once a month it started. So this is just alcohol marker, and then I use gel pen wherever necessary. Outlined the clouds with my, that's definitely my Decraz. And then this one, I like this one. I put some stickles on the sun. Usually don't get that fancy with these, but yeah, I liked that. What's this? Oh. So those are the ones I did this month. I'm hoping to get another one of her books because I really enjoy those. And then I'll be working on this for the entire spring, and I did 2 in here. So this was my first one. I decided to work on Easter eggs, so I found a couple. And I did that one, and this one is 100% alcohol marker, and I think these are the Spectrum Noirs. And then I did this one. Really like the colors, so that came out. Doesn't even look springish, but I like the colors on there. I don't know what I used on there. I think it's alcohol marker, yeah, just random. Upcoming is another Color Your Hoard. This is the Dover Spark book that I had the hardest time getting. I could not get it off of Canada Amazon, so I ended up placing it in my order once when I was over on the American site. And I finally started it by doing the first page. And I haven't been telling you who did most of these books. I'm sorry. Usually better than that. This is Owls by Noelle Dolan, and it is a Dover Spark book, which means it's intended for kids, but I don't care. Got out the old spring, oh wait a minute. I need to keep out a spring one, and I'm going to keep out my broken circles, because where would I be without that? Oh, and my one colors. A lot of these are going into next month's pile. Okay, so we pulled out the old Spring Awakening. This is a color by number published by Zen Doodle. They have 4 of them, and this one happens to be by Deborah Muller. And I don't know why that's in the middle of the book. Where's the picture I did? Here we go. So I did this one, and I was using the Stettler 325s, and they are starting to run out on me quite a lot. So now I'm moving on to using my Ranger distress markers. Those, they don't make them anymore, and I can't get replacements for them, so I'm just going to use them up. So I did this one, and I did this one. For some reason I've only used water-based markers in this book, so figured I'd keep up the tradition. And this is another one that I work on in the spring only. And then another Belba family book, and keep leaving my board papers in here. So I did a couple in here. I did this one. Used the Stettler 325s pretty much, except for this. That was the face was done with the Ranger distress markers. That's a Vietnamese girl. And then I did this one, which is A Field of Flowers. And I did a little bit of sleep coloring over there. And on to another Escape to Shakespeare's World by Good Wives and Warriors. Won't see the Christmas one here because I've already worked in that. And this was a Color Your Hoard. So I picked this picture, which felt kind of mandalish to me. I like doing circles. And this was all done in I think it's Prismas. Pretty sure it is, the way that all blends there. And pastels for the background and in here. And a tiny bit of gel pen. Oh, just there. So yeah, these are lots of fun to do because they're nice. They're really nice illustrated pages, and it's a short project. And then another Color Your Hoard, and I have been like scared to death to do anything in here because prior to this book I had only done Jade Summer Greyscale. So the first page I did in here was, here we go. The very first page I did in here was this one. And I picked out one of the simplest ones I could find. And this was it. And I had no problems coloring it. It's done in alcohol markers with a pastel background and a little bit of gel pen on there. And then I thought, well, that was easy. So I went to the beginning of the book and I colored the front page kitty. And then I colored, oh, and I've decided that the pictures that I've colored, I'm going to color in the background on the thumbnails. So I can take a look at a glance which ones I've done. And then, wait a minute. Let me put one of these here so I can kind of do a reveal. Okay, and then I colored in this picture on here, which was easy to do because this is the picture that I colored on here. Ta-da! There we go. I put a Posca glitter pen for a border around it. I wish I hadn't. I'm not going to do that on anymore. But I loved doing this. I thought it was going to be so hard. So it wasn't. Well, I have to tell you, I used my magnifying glass because then I could see like what was where. My problem with these is that they don't have the lines, so I'm afraid that, you know, I'm going to make all these jaggedy edges and I won't know where one part starts and another part finishes. So I looked at it through a magnifying glass and I found out that what I was thinking wasn't really true. So for these I definitely used magnifying glass to do the roses and in her hair. This was all, I don't know if I used Copic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used Copic. And then I just used a colored pencil to trace over the twigs of a tree there. And so that first picture that I showed you with the ice cream, that was my Color Your Hoard. And this is the rest of it. And I'm pretty much just going to go straight through the book. I had an accident here. I started this picture and then immediately thought, oh no, I need my page in there. So I got this little blue outline. We'll have to see what happens with that. And then I can't help but work in my Chibi Girl Greyscale book every month because this is a book that I'm actively working to finish. So let's see, this month I did this one. One of my groups had a Fire and Ice challenge. And a Fire and Ice challenge is when you split your page in half and you color half ice and the other oh well, let's say cool colors, and the other side warm colors. We were actually given a color palette for our two sides, so that made it much easier. And we weren't given any flesh tones, so that's why my girl has the colors of skin that she does. But this did really well on Instagram. I think it's pretty cool too. And the other one I did was this. It is the time for Easter, and this is the Easter picture in this book. I used all sorts of things on it. I used white Posca around the clouds. I used glitter gel pens, rainbow ears, some stickles. I did all the, I even used some clear glitter gel pen. And all the tails are done in acrylic paint, as well as the cuffs on her arms. So we're getting quite a few done in here, but lots and lots more to go. Coming to the end, folks, just 3 more books. So here we have Creative Haven Glorious Gardens, color by number. And I did this one. It's the first one in the book, but it's not the first one I've colored. So I used 325s with it for this, and then moved on to the distress markers, as those are the 2 I'm trying to get rid of. And I seem to like to use water-based markers in this book too. So this is one of my favorites. Another Belba family book. And I did this one, and unfortunately it didn't turn out that great because I had a whole bunch of falling asleep issues on here. So yeah, it's got some scribbles on it and some colors, and just, you know, if you haven't been to one of my finished pages before, you won't know that I have this problem of falling asleep when I'm not supposed to, and I often fall asleep when I'm coloring, so I continue coloring when I fall asleep, so I have to just go with the flow and accept the pages how they come out. And finally, the last one was done as a buddy color with my sister, and I chose the book and she chose the picture. So we worked in Fantasy Kids, and I had totally forgotten I even had this book, and it was gifted to me too, so I feel kind of bad about that. But so anyways, that's why I picked this book, because I definitely wanted to get something done in it. And my sister chose this picture, which turned out to be quite a detailed one. Not 100% happy with how it turned out. I think I used too much color in here. If I'd toned it down, I would have been a bit better. And I did have a few accidents in this too. Yeah, little bits of sleep coloring going on here, which I managed to erase, but then you can see the erase mark. There's one there. And here I covered up my mistake, I thought, decently enough by going over it with the brown and extending the cliff. So you make mistakes, you can often cover them up. So this is a Color Your Horde, since it's the first one in the book. And that's all, folks. So stick around. This month I'm going to be doing just kind of what I want. A couple of my groups are having themes, like I told you already, and they're ones I love, so I'm going to participate in those. Not really going to do any Facebook or Instagram challenges this month, because coming up in May I have my own challenge that I will be co-hosting. And if you haven't heard already on my channel or Sandy's, I will be co-hosting along with Sandy at Colors Creatively, and we will be dedicating a month to Deborah Muller. So far, I think our hashtag is going to be Color It the Muller Way, and it's going to be lots of fun. We've talked to Deborah about it as well, so yeah, it is going to be a fun time. So keep that on your calendars for the month of May is Deborah Muller. So, that's all I have to tell you. So I hope to see you in a color and chat soon, but please forgive me if I'm not able to get up to it. It takes a lot of energy and strength for me to do them, and it's just not, I just don't have a lot of that right now. But I am staying safe, I'm staying home, and I am coloring my little heart out and taking care of my family, and I hope the rest of you are as well. So please remember to stay safe, stay home, and I will see you the next time. Bye-bye!